Greetings, we are together, Goddess Isis and Lord Ra, to take you on a journey to Shamballa. So no matter where you are on the planet, you have at your disposal at any given moment an entire network of light, service, support, and people incarnate, also that recognize that you're here to help make a difference, to help usher in a new age, which is a peaceful age. So let's lift up the Merkaba. You might say there's something like hydraulics. It just sort of lifts upwards and begins to float gently. So if you are tuning into the feeling inside the body, you will sense motion, that your light body is moving about. Kasumi will join us in motion here. So in the centre of our Merkaba, we welcome Kasumi. Make a nice space to receive him there. I would also like to invite El Moya and the Master Jesus, Buddha, Kuan Yin, and Mother Mary, and also Sanat Kumara. Now Sanat Kumara adds kind of a wrap. I know a golden light wrapping around the Merkaba. It's Sanat Kumara's blessing and his presence, and a journey to Shamballa is much like going to the heart center. We begin to pass through a portal now, which has some geometric shapes in it, and we're going through a specific entrance. There are several ways to enter Shamballa. This particular entrance is sort of the main entrance, or the grand entrance. And before we get to anything that looks like a docking station, we're in sort of a tube of light with geometric shapes in it. And while we go through here, some adjustments are made upon the body. The light body in particular is purified during this part of the journey. If there's anything reverberating in the physical structure, this is a time when often the etheric body, the light body, the emotional body, the mental body, etc., will become repaired. How wonderful! So just take a few moments for this to be completed. Right, now we're coming to the end of our passageway. I would just simply open the gates here so that you can move to the main reception area. And you will find those who welcome you and those who will answer your questions. It's just like a very grand train depot or something where you can say, where might I find this particular hall? Or, do you have a guide map of Shamballa? Now, it's a city, and some of you will be drawn more to a museum or a beautiful park, or maybe a healing chapel. Some of you will be drawn more towards government. Maybe you want to sit in on a council meeting. Some of you may choose instead just to go to a general sightseeing of the entire place. And please remember there is a beautiful library beyond that of Alexandria, a beautiful, extensive library. The library, of course, is one of my favourites, and many of the teachings. You just touch the book and the teachings transfer, and colour and sound come out of the pages, sometimes transmitting directly into the chakras. It's an interactive experience. The same with the museums. If there are any sculptures of art you consume with them, it's all about the soul experience within all of the bodies. Likewise, all beings here are translucent. There's nothing to hide, so if you've got bursitis on your shoulder, your light body is walking around. Anybody can see a different colour in the shoulder area. It's not a concern. It's considered absolutely normal to show all of your light, no matter what it looks like. So walk along freely. Be comfortable being who you are. This is not a place of judgment. We don't point and say, oh, look at that root chakra, my goodness, look at the damage there. We simply acknowledge the light. It's namaste or tashi dalik. I see the light in you, or I see the divine being. And as a divine being, I greet you in the divine. We literally not focusing here on lessons, challenges, whatnot. Shamballa is the end result of peaceful light on the planet. It's the end result of balanced government, of cultivated knowledge. It's the end result of healing modalities, a beautiful city of light. Now, if you find your way to the temple or a cathedral, you'll often see all religions represented, all of them, sometimes in their individual sections, sometimes integrated or intermixed. I do also recommend journeying to somewhere considered a place of worship, or where meditation takes place, or prayer, and feel again the energies of heightened prayer. It's very uplifting, perhaps some more or so than a healing centre. Allow yourself to feel some kind of worship while you're there. It can be what you're familiar with on the physical plane or in any of your past lives, or just a kind of non-denominational experience of feeling that communion with Spirit. Now disperse as you will. I think that sometimes sitting in on a planning committee, like what are the plans for cleaning up Iraq, or what are the plans for negating radiation poisons on the planet, what are the plans to calm the sea life? Marine life is very distressed now. Light workers have been through a distress, and marine life has been through a distress that's still lingering. The next wave of humanity at large, so those that know how to serve literally should be ready. It's time to shore up things, pull up the bootstraps and get ready to help others. So let's do something rather fun. It's one of my favourite little experiences in Shamballa. I'd like to float up and just view from above. It's literally a contained city. You can perch up in the upper atmosphere there and look back and just enjoy the colours. Enjoy the sounds and the smells and the movement and the energies of goodwill that come from Shamballa to other members of humanity. Let everything pass through you and then through the membrane into the world. Then you may, if you want, go back into some lovely area there of Shamballa. Maybe a park or a museum or one of the chapels, and send more energy out of Shamballa, radiating to humanity. This is one of my favourite things. I like to go up kind of on the roof. This, I can feel all of the energies and marvel at what beautiful expression of creation exists in Shamballa, and send out more energy. Sanat Kumara remains responsible for the container, if you will, that is Shamballa, and keeps that very, very sacred. Now there's another place here, it's the exact centre. In Feng Shui, that's a power point. In zero gravity terms, it's a power point. Whatever you carry into the centre becomes magnified. So around the centre we have an area or a courtyard, and as you approach, it sort of looks like a tube there in the centre that you can go and stand in. It's a crystalline structure. As you go up to it, it's very important to let go of whatever is burdening you. If there's pain in your body, drop it. Like a garment that you can just drop on the ground and keep walking. If there's pain in the heart, if there's stress, whatever you're carrying, discard it as you get closer to that centre, chamber or tube. Let pure spirit run through you. Hallowed be thy name. So you want that pure spirit just hollowing out of the core of your being. You're just an instrument for spirit and nothing more. Take your time. If there's tension in the solar plexus or anything that you don't want magnified, wait on the outskirts and get rid of it. Now we go, as you're ready, into that centre chamber. What we're magnifying is the magnificence of your own spirit. You at your point of clarity, magnified. Now let the energies come in through your body. At this point, we're going to take the opportunity at this power centre to amplify spirituality on the earth plane. So our entire group gathering there in the centre, reflecting upon spirit, spirit only, spirit flowing, bright, brilliant light. Feel that energy shooting through the body now into the earth. We're bringing that in and amplifying it for all of humanity. This is a wake-up for humanity. I generally refrain from using that term because I think it's been overused, but it is a wake-up, a dawning, like, it dawns on me that perhaps there's more to life than what is obvious. It dawns on me there's a way to achieve peace in a certain situation. A dawning or a waking up of the spiritual consciousness, that's exactly what we're running through our bodies now. Light bodies sending that energy to humanity. Good. At some point, there is a sensation of completion. Sometimes it feels like an energy rushes back, upwards, and begins to fountain. Sometimes the energy just wanes when it's complete. Good. Now I'd say go about your journey in Shamballa, picking your next destination. Simultaneous reality does exist here. So if you want to experience a museum and a healing chamber at the same time, that is possible. You may prefer one at a time in your consciousness so that you feel it more completely. But you can play with bilocation and trilocation. Consciousness is multi-dimensional. You should be having more and more awareness of the multi-dimensional reality. And from time to time, you might just race up to the ceiling there and feel the energies. It's kind of like a child racing up to the top of the mound to see the view and then going back down. Have a lot of fun with that. We are going now to take another journey. This one also not far from the centre of Shamballa there. Something that looks like a subway. We go down sort of a subway transit or an underground transit. Go down here and get on a transport. And from here you can explore many segments of the underground Shamballa, just like you would build maybe a basement or a foundation in a house, and maybe a lookout tower or whatnot. Shamballa is constructed much the same way. Spirit is the same, creating patterns over and over. Basically, so if you have a storage cellar, then there's something similar in Shamballa. On these I will not comment much. I'm looking to see what you glean from your own experience here. Your perception of what you're seeing underground in Shamballa will be a reflection of what is going on in your subconscious at present. For example, if you're seeing something like coal miners and very unpleasant underground existence, very dark and narrow and such, that would be an inaccurate view, but accurate according to your subconscious, in that it would be telling you that you're not comfortable exploring your own depths, because you feel you might be trapped or suffocated if you look too deep within. So what you perceive as you travel underground in Shambhala indicates how clear or how clouded the subconscious is at this present moment. And if you see treasures there, or that where boxes of food come from, and extra furniture and sacred objects, and you see that as a kind of treasure underneath, then that would tell you look for your own underground treasures. It's very revealing about the subconscious. It should be really showing you quite a bit in your dreams of late as well. It gives you the opportunity to clear what you don't want and to focus on what you do want. So now we're starting to gather to board the Merkaba. So find yourself working your way towards the main entrance there, toward the reception area of Shambhala. And there, like most places, there are things you can take home with you, memoirs maybe. I don't know, I guess you'd call it like a gift shop or souvenirs. There are things that you can experience there as you're leaving, in addition to the things that your consciousness has already experienced. So if there's some sacred thing there that you have permission to take home with you, or perhaps I see some things that would be photographs, kind of. Here's me in Shambhala with a date on it. So whatever translates your consciousness as some special memory that you would take with you. And then again we're heading now towards our purple Merkaba. The other masters tease me a little bit about it. They call it a big purple boat, sometimes a purple ferry boat. So come on aboard. Some of my masters still stay with us on our journey, particularly Almoria, Kathumi and Master Jesus. They'll stay with us on our journey back. Some of the others are departing for other purposes. So now everyone is aboard. Now let the Merkaba lift up again, and as we pass through the channels on our way out of Shambhala, another phenomenon occurs in the body here. It's as though Shambhala is rushing to keep up with you. You're taking part of Shambhala home. The light body begins to build with the energies of serving humanity, serving the planetary logos, service on your particular path. It's as though the light is rushing into the light body to help you align with that divine purpose. And finally, a little balancing or stabilizing, and then we officially leave Shambhala, floating now through the atmosphere and coming back to our original point of departure. We're coming full circle and arriving back at our original location for the Merkaba. You can sometimes feel again a change in the weight in your legs, or a sensation in the energy body as we set the vehicle down. And then allow yourself to leave the Merkaba vehicle with your treasure or treasures, as the case may be. Remember to smile. We've just been on a lovely journey in the company of masters, and perhaps more importantly, in the company of your fellow lightworkers. That feeling in particular is one I encourage you to relish. Literally tune in several times a day to the support system of the lightworkers. Allow yourself to receive. Now, dear ones, as always, our love to you, and please continue to call upon us on the inner planes, as you do have permission, and not only ourselves but the other masters and the members of the angelic kingdom and members of the order of Melchizedek and many, many other light workers. Thank you, and our love to you, always at your service. I am Isis, and I am Ra. Thank you for being on this journey today to Shamballa. I hope you enjoyed. Namaste.